Hello, Bizarre Story friends. You've tuned in to the Bizarre AF, a place where we talk about the strange, the unusual, the unknown, and all things Bizarre AF. I'm Kevin. I'm going to be your host for today's episode, and as always, we ask that you please keep an open mind, keep a skeptical ear, but keep listening to those facts as we take you on our newest journey. Nordic Aliens. What is the truth about these cosmic visitors? Well, hello, my Bizarre Story friends. Please help me welcome my co-hostess with the mostess, Alicia. Hey, girl.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I am doing good. As always, actually, that's total bullshit. I'm not always doing good.
Right.
But I'm feeling good today.
Good.
So that's all you can really hope for.
Good. Well, before we get started today, I wanted to let our viewers know that if they or someone they know is an alien, they're holding open auditions for a television show.
That's right. That's right. Yes, can you please, aliens listening here.
So again, if you are an alien or you know someone who's an alien, you need to audition for this television show.
Yes. Your secret is not safe.
Exactly. I'll make sure and put a link in the show notes for those that feel like they need to go audition for this.
Give us the alien reality show.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we need. That would change everything.
Flipping beakers and I don't know.
Flipping beakers. That's what the aliens would do is flip beakers. You're like, we didn't even know we had beakers. Apparently, they're just flipping beakers all around. They come with beakers, by the way.
Exactly. Well, speaking of aliens, we're going to talk about a species of aliens that we have talked about on this show before. Now, we've mentioned them in various episodes, but we never really have gone into depth about who and what they are.
Right.
It was since around the 1950s when all of the UFO stuff was really kicking into high gear. That's really when this particular species really came into the limelight and the public view. And these beings are reported as being tall, blonde, blue-eyed, eerily similar to humans, but they possess extraordinary abilities.
Wait a second. I feel like I'm looking at a potential alien. You're tall. Well, I don't know. I guess compared to me, you're tall. You have blue eyes.
They say 6 to 7 foot, which
6 to 7.
I'm 6'1".
Okay.
I am blonde by nature. I was born they called me a towhead. I was like white blonde.
Oh my God.
I got blue-green eyes.
Yes.
I'm not fit. That's the only drawback. That was the only thing that would give it away.
I mean,
because apparently they're very svelte.
Like
not abnormally skinny and tall, but very fit.
Like the Skarsgårds?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they're aliens or fucking vampires or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay, interesting.
Okay. These are known as Nordic aliens, which are drastically different, by the way, from the Greys, which we have talked about on this show before. And those are the big... Here, can I see that?
Excuse us.
They look like that.
And if you're not watching, Kevin is putting on one night we decided to put on to make the 3D printer, create a sweet ass alien mask. It's so cool.
So good. So big bug eyes, they're kind of gray, they're small, they got little bitty mouth, little bitty bodies, big heads.
Yeah.
So what really I think makes Nordic Greys the most captivating is the contradictions they embody. And I'll give you an example.
Okay.
They look human, but they're from a completely different planet. They claim to possess advanced technology that's well beyond our own, yet they express concern for our nuclear arsenal. They appear physically perfect, yet they're focused on spiritual development rather than a physical or mental one. Like, it's kind of this, I mean, it's fast. I think that's fascinating.
It's flip-floppy. I mean, come on, get with like Earth's way of doing things. If you're hot, you know it, and that's the most important thing in the world. You flaunt it, you own it. That's how we do it. And by the way, you're technologically savvy. Why would you not just like rape the earth and do horrible shit?
Right.
Why would you treat people well and like think that, I don't know, spirituality is important?
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense. They're idiots, clearly.
So you remember my episode about Travis Walton's abduction?
Yes.
And he was abducted by the Greys, but you remember there were Nordics involved. Do you remember? They were the ones that held him down without any effort.
Oh, that's right.
But the Greys were the ones that abducted him. And in fact, Travis is quoted as saying, quote, "They're human enough that you feel an immediate connection, but there's something in their eyes, a depth and intensity that is clearly not ordinary."
Like an elf? Like Legolas or something? You know. Yeah. Yeah, I totally threw you off with that one.
You did.
No, you know how like the hobbits, like there's something ancient
Yes.
or like knowing. There's
Yes.
a depth there that
Yes,
we do not possess or understand. There's
Right.
like there's just like this greater knowing.
exactly. Yes. What also distinguishes Nordic aliens from other reported extraterrestrials is not just how they look, but their approach. So, unlike the Greys, who typically are associated with abduction and experimentation, the Nordics are characterized with their direct communication, including philosophical and spiritual messages. They don't abduct, they discuss. They don't probe, they educate.
Ooh, okay.
Right?
I think I would totally be down for, well, no. That's actually not the case. Sorry. I take that back. I swear to God, I have like goosebumps. I do not need to. No. But also, like I think if you had to choose, there's clearly a winner.
Well, exactly. And I think that's why people are more fascinated with them.
Right. Than the Greys.
In a way. And
Who are fucking weirdos.
The alien narrative, right, centers on involuntary contact, mysterious agendas. The Nordic focuses on wisdom, guidance, brotherhood, peace, love.
Yeah, we want peace, love.
Assistance.
Okay, but here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're talking about Travis Walton's,
Yeah.
you know.
Yes. Why were they helping the Greys?
Exactly. Like if you are like, peace and love, man. Like, but you're like, hey, it's totally cool because this gray one's my friend. You know, what are you doing?
So maybe they are doing something that's important.
It's like pluribus, where like they can't actually they can't cause harm to someone, but they can let their gray counterparts, friends, do it.
Or they have some agreement, like, we had to do something for you, so now we have to help you.
Right.
Or,
political.
yeah.
It's an intergalactic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The reported messages about nuclear disarmament, environmental protection, and spiritual evolution have connected with literally thousands of people, and it spawns all kinds of books, creates organizations, creates religions, which you may remember us talking about Raelism. And Claude, whatever his name is, was known as Rael. Remember? That's based on the Nordics. And it teaches that an extraterrestrial species known as, I think it's Olohim. I can't remember how to pronounce it. They created,
Elohim?
Yeah, I think that's it. And that they created the human race based on advanced technology. We kind of talked about that.
Yes. I do recall this.
And that's another rabbit hole for another story. So the Nordics have gone by a lot of names. They've gone by Palladians.
Okay, yes, I've heard that.
We've discussed on this episode. In fact, on the episode where we talked about Eisenhower.
Oh my God.
And we're going to talk about that that particular moment in time later.
Okay.
But that's how we've talked about that. Tall Whites, we've heard.
We have talked briefly about them, yes.
Space Brothers, which I had not heard before. Venetians. Have you heard of this? Venusians, right, because they think they're from Venus.
Give me all this weird shit. Give it to me.
But that was before we actually we knew what Venus really was. Now we're like, that's cannot fucking be possible.
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. We know it, right? Yeah, no, because it's gaseous.
And completely inhospitable.
Yeah. There's no way.
So what they say is the true watershed moment came in 50 when all the aliens contacts started happening, like I said before. And during this time, a man by the name of George Adamski. Have you heard of him?
God, no, I don't think so.
I hadn't either, which really surprised me because apparently he's pretty famous in claiming that he had regular communications with extraterrestrials who looked human. And we're going to talk about more of him in a minute, but he was really the one that made the Nordics, I don't want to use the word famous, but that's really what
He's the one who put him on the map.
kicked it off. Put him on the map. Exactly. Okay, so now by the 60s and the 70s, gray aliens had become the dominant character in abduction literature, right? Because they were the ones doing all of the abductions.
Right.
And this was particularly true after the Betty and Barney Hill story,
right.
which we've also covered. And now, at this point, the Nordics kind of become secondary characters because people are more fascinated with the abductions and the grays with the big bug eyes.
Right.
And,
yeah.
Right.
We want to talk about the ones who are harming us.
Exactly.
Who's the threat?
Scary ones.
Yeah.
You know, and I kind of equate it to, like, who's more interesting? Housewives flipping tables or philosophers talking about peace? Like, which one do you want to watch?
In the world that we live in today, unfortunately,
It's the housewives flipping tables. Right.
it's the housewives, like, you know, having no food and too much alcohol and causing a scene. Yeah, totally.
Right. So it makes sense that we're all focused on the grays.
Right.
All right. And the other thing I'd written down when I was taking notes, I was like, would you rather stare at a train wreck or stare at a little family of rabbits in the bush?
Okay. Are there, I mean,
I know, but still, when you go, oh my God, look at that train wreck.
yeah, what are you going to not be able to tear your eyes away
from.
from? That's really the issue.
Right.
That's
If
that's
both were right in front of you, which one would you be looking at?
right, and then, but you also think, you know, just in historic context, you were saying, like, right after, like, in the 1950s is when you see all these. This big old explosion of them,
yeah.
right? Which would make sense. People are more interested in that. After World War II, you have all these people who came back and know what war looks like. But you want another Nazi, or, like, you want to see, like, another enemy. Like, we don't want that. We want peace. We want love. We want, you know, we want to live in communities. So it would make sense that you'd have a Venusian or a Palladian who would, like, you know, who looks like us and isn't scary.
Pollution, that's right. I was thinking of Venetian.
Oh, did I say something?
Did you say pollution? Like, is that Pluto? Is that a Pluto alien?
Yeah, probably.
Pollution?
I just pulled shit out of my ass. That never happened this one time.
Okay, so let's talk about their physical appearance. So if there is one thing that makes these Nordics instantly recognizable, is, like we said before, it's their instant physical striking appearance.
Yeah.
Contactees, and I say contactees because Nordics don't abduct.
They just want to talk. They want to talk to them.
Right. So contactees report a very consistent description of them being very humanoid. Almost too much of a perfect humanoid.
Like a model walking down the street.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. They stand between 6 and 7 feet tall, or 1.8 to 2.1 meters if you're in the metric system, tower over most humans without appearing disproportionate. Like I said, very svelte.
Okay.
Very tall, slender, attractive.
Well, but yeah, I was, like, wondering, do they have, like, really long arms and, like, long legs?
Not disproportionate.
Yeah, you just totally answered that.
Their bodies are described as athletic, well proportioned, with a grace and fluidity. And according to Travis Walton, he actually said with grace that was more like dancing than walking.
An elf. I don't even remember him saying that, but I mean, that totally would make sense.
He did. I think it's in his book.
Is it? Oh.
Yep. Yeah, whatever the name of his book was that he wrote it. And here's what I find very telling. While both male and female Nordic aliens have been reported, early contactee accounts from really the 1950s when all this was happening were male entities, which align in my mind. Here's why that aligns in my mind.
Okay, yeah, tell me.
Because that was the patriarchal stance in that era. Like, men were the ones to respect. Women, you know, they did the dishes. That was it.
Yeah, you're not going to respect them.
Don't respect them. So it makes sense to me that you wouldn't have some hot female Nordic coming up and going, you need to disarm your nuclear weapons. They would be like, bitch, please. They'd be like, hey, give me coffee and get down on your knees.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
No, totally.
Right. So I think that's why I can rationalize why that occurred.
Yes.
For that reason.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. And then also, I don't know why when you're talking about, like, their descriptions, I imagine them, like, honestly, I'm thinking about elves. Like, long hair.
The long blonde hair,
yes,
the hot guy on the Elf movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
That's what I think of too.
Did they say if they had they had to have had short hair, because if you had long hair,
you'd stand out.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, they did talk about. I do talk about hair.
They talked about how blonde
the hair is
they were.
typically blonde to reddish blonde.
It's like a strawberry blonde.
Often described as usually luscious and beautiful. And George Adamski's account of Orthian, which we'll talk about in a second, said his hair was sandy colored, wavy hair, glistened more beautifully than any woman's, which I find oddly gendered, but
yeah. Okay, whatever. He has some problems.
whatever. So I think it could be. It could be like what we're thinking of.
It says nothing about the length. It just says that it's like these long flowing locks,
yes.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think it would be short if he said glisten more beautifully than any woman's. I think it would have to have some body or length or something. Excuse me. Anyway, so yes, it perfectly describes what's his name, and I can't think of his name.
Legolas?
Is that his name? The one with the arrow, the hot guy with the
Legolas.
arrows?
I mean, yeah, yes.
We're talking about Lord of the Rings.
Legolas, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Totally him.
Yeah. Most accounts describe them wearing form-fitting one-piece uniforms or jumpsuits that appear to be made of unusual materials with metallic or shimmering qualities. And what's funny is when I picture the Nordics, I think of them in these jumpsuits, and I don't know why. It's so weird. Colors vary from silver and gold to various earth tones, with some accounts mentioning distinctive insignias or symbols on the clothing.
Interesting.
Adamski described one as wearing a shimmery chocolate brown uniform with a double band of more golden tone around the waist and oxblood colored shoes that were woven look much like leather.
Okay, he knows what he's talking about when it comes to an outfit.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, girl.
Yeah. We see.
So
it's always metallic. That's interesting.
See, and this is where my skeptical brain comes in, because especially in the 50s, all Alien was metal.
Yes.
Anything metal, anything alien was metal.
It was the space race. You
Tan and shiny.
Yeah, and white and
yes,
it's these really
shiny
bright,
brown or soft rounded surfaces.
Yes.
And yeah,
you think of the atomic age and the
yes.
space age,
yes.
that Sputnik. It's these
yep.
silver metal.
Yep.
Which I don't know.
And then I go, so why would they wear something that makes them stand out?
Well, you know what? It's kind of, are they like muggles? In Harry Potter, how you have wizards who will try to go, because they're used to wearing robes and stuff. Would you have wizards who would go into normal muggle areas and not know how to
fit in?
Yeah, they're wearing a muumuu, and it's a dude with he's I just like this, and
right.
It's totally cool with the wizard world. So maybe this is still a jumpsuit.
Right.
We're still wearing pants and a top.
Totally odd. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, it does make me question.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Are they still saying they only wear metal? Is it because?
No, but it's just that all the accounts, they reported accounts of them. That's when they're wearing. That's something. That's when they talk about their clothing. It's always a metallic looking material. Again, which makes no sense to me, because if they're humanoid and they wanted to blend in, why wouldn't they wear human clothes?
Maybe they just, you cannot tell me if they're these emotionally aware and philosophical beings that they would not know. Exactly.
They're not dumb.
Yeah, they're not dumb, but maybe it just isn't very important to them. Maybe there's this galactic federation that has this, okay, we're going to do first contact, or first contact's going to happen soon. So whatever, it's in 50 years. Who cares? Wear your gold bling.
Wear your uniform.
Yeah. Wear what you're used to wearing. I don't know.
So now let's talk about where they're from. So the question of where Nordic aliens come from has completely evolved over the decades, coming both from contactees changing their narratives to advances in astronomy, which is what I just said before, is, the earliest reports were them coming from Venus. That's what George Adamski says with his famous Orthon encounter. And in fact, Howard Menger, another guy we're going to talk about, who calls that's where the Space Brothers came from. He said his hailed from Mars. And so, as we know, the Venus origin story, it's completely, surfaces are hot enough to melt lead. The atmosphere is like sulfuric acid. So, sorry, no. That's
why they're wearing the glittery outfits.
Yeah. Right. So Once we realized that Venus was inhospitable, contacting narratives had to evolve into other places. So by the 70s, most accounts placed aliens' homes outside of our solar system beyond reach of verification. Interesting. There's a Pleiades star cluster became the most cited home for them, giving rise to the Palladians, which they now use interchangeably with Nordic. Billy Mayer was a Swiss citizen, was a contactee in the 70s. He reported they came from a planet called Era in the Taygeta system with the Pleiades. He described Era as slightly smaller than Earth, with a population of 500 million individuals. The planet uses advanced technology, of course, and far less crowded than our planet. When presented with scientific objections about how this area also presents a potential habitat challenge, believers will often suggest that Nordic aliens may be using some advanced protection against radiation, i.e. their suit.
Right.
Or that they have evolved, they just evolved differently as humans. They don't have the same skin and organs.
Yeah, they're not as sensitive as we are.
Which, that makes sense. If you can evolve as a species, I mean, that happens.
I have some questions, though.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So... genetically,
yeah,
I don't want to poke any holes. I want a conspiracy theory like the rest of us. I want to know about aliens.
Yes.
I want to know who to be afraid of and not to be afraid of. But so people who are like from these like Nordic countries or have like the ancestry who like from actual Nordic countries, like AKA, you know, not Nordic aliens, but Sweden, Finland, Norway.
Yeah.
Like that's Scandinavian countries. A lot of these people are, you know, fair-skinned, which is probably where the freaking, you know, fair-skinned, lighter hair. You know, you have like a smaller nose. I actually just recently learned that it's to protect, like it's, so you have genetically, these things are to protect you. So of course you wouldn't, you would have, if you have less sunlight, you can have eyes that can see better during nighttime.
You don't need a lot of melatonin in your skin.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, you know, you're not necessarily going to tan very easily. You're trying to get as much sun as possible. So that would make sense here. Why the hell is it different on a different planet if you're a humanoid? Why are the rules changed? You're only blonde hair, only blue-eyed. And doesn't it seem a little racist?
A little Hillary.
It's a little Hillary. Like the Aryan race is a real thing that apparently the Palladians are so down with.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I agree. I concur. It
doesn't make any sense.
But although I guess I would say, then how the grays?
I have a theory. Like, who knows if all the grays, like the really short ones, they may not actually be living creatures. What if it's like an AI intelligence in like a biotic body?
Sure.
Or like some kind of like
hence why they look the same.
They all look the same.
Right.
It's like it's like a little robot.
That makes sense.
And you can just, you know, I mean, they do look fucking weird, you know?
Right.
Why would you make something look that way unless it like served a purpose? Perhaps it just serves a purpose. Anyways.
Yeah. No. That's all true.
But I do think that like that's one of the issues with this theory. Like you're saying,
yes.
Yeah, they're blonde hair, blue eyed, but they're on this like gaseous, hot planet.
So the people people say, okay, well then maybe they came from somewhere totally different and then they had to relocate to Pleiades.
Okay.
Or the other one is that they exist in a higher dimensional version of the Pleiades that doesn't correspond exactly to this cluster that we can see.
Keep on shimming into that dress, girl. It does fit you.
Bing, exactly. Exactly. It's the same thing.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
As someone who wanted to be a minister, yes.
Okay, so let's talk about their spacecraft.
Yeah.
Okay, so spacecraft design and capabilities feature prominent accounts in the Nordic technology, and unlike stereotypical flying saucers that are associated with the Greys, Nordic vessels are often described as more varying in shape, like the cigar.
Yes.
And those are typically the mother ships, and the smaller scout craft are both disc and spherical configurations.
Okay.
Now, Billy Meyer's photographs purport to show what they call, I'm quoting, beam ships used by his Palladian contacts, were metal disc-shaped craft with a distinctive raised center and various surface features. And we've seen many a photo. In fact, the time that I scared the F out of you, it looked like that.
It did look like that.
Although they were grays in there, but they weren't Nordics. But that was the shape.
Yep. That was totally the shape. Which would make sense if there's a federation and they're working together.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. His photos were completely debunked, by the way, which I'm going to show you some pictures that are hilarious. The propulsion systems of these craft allegedly to operate on principles beyond our technology. They had to, of course.
If we could understand it, then yeah.
Right. They did anti-just gravity devices, electromagnetic field manipulation, conscious interactive control.
Because they're like so at peace and like
well, because that's how they communicate, was telepathy.
They never
generally
said an actual word.
They do speak, but they communicate with themselves through telepathy. And so why not connect with your ship through telepathy? Because you don't have to have all this. You don't have to make all this shit.
Yeah,
just
that's true.
think it.
Yeah, you just think it. I want to go here. I want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So much easier.
Some accounts mention crystalline power sources that convert energy into usable power without pollution or fuel consumption.
It's always crystals.
Isn't it?
The dark crystal. Yeah, totally.
According to various contactees, they can achieve speeds way beyond speed of light, and not by conventional acceleration, but by manipulating space-time. Which anybody who attempts to figure out how to travel that fast always say that you have to manipulate space-time.
Right, that there's no other way to do it.
There would be no other physical way of doing it.
Which technically is possible, like based off of the Universe's episode that you...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Or wormholes. That's another one. The Borg do that, right? They create little tubes that get them anywhere they want to go.
They sure do. Resistance is futile.
Interior descriptions of their spacecraft emphasize organic design of pleasure and experience and, peace and love. And
we're back in elves territory.
Right. Unlike the Greys who have, sterile metal tables, shit on your chest.
They're probing your anal cavity.
Exactly.
They're like sitting there sticking shit up your nose, tickling your brain. You go onto the Nordic vessel, you're like...
You're in the coffee, a little comfy chair.
The whole ship is just like the right temperature. You just walk in, you're like, finally, I'm here. There's definitely a choice, right? There's a choice you want.
Oh my God.
It's like that Kate McKinnon, like SNL
Oh my
sketch.
God, yes. We always mention her. Yes. She's funny. Materials are described as having unusual properties like self-illuminating, like you can't tell where the light's coming from. It's just like it just kind of glows. And temperature responsiveness, capable of changing appearance or function based on the need.
Oh God, that'd be great.
Amazing. So, again, communication systems used by the Nordic aliens supposedly transcend conventional limitations of distance and language, right? Because they use natural telepathic abilities.
Right.
They employ technology that can amplify, record, and translate thought patterns across vast distances, which would be amazing.
Oh my God, yeah.
Contactees again describe crystalline devices worn near the head that enhance telepathic reception and transmission.
Here it is. My crystalline eye. Look at. Don't. I do have eyes, My eyes are down here.
Right, and these supposedly filter out mental noise and focus intention.
Yeah.
Right, because that's what they're about.
Right. Yeah. Philosophical.
So then the question becomes, well, what is their technology? Like, we keep talking about all this technology. Like, well, so what is it?
Right.
Environmental and energy technology to reflect ecological concerns about Nordic aliens. Contactees describe being shown energy generation systems that draw from universal field energy, similar to zero-point energy concepts in theoretical physics, providing limitless, pollution-free power. Basically, you're just taking energy out of the air.
Yeah, but where's the energy coming from?
It's energy's everywhere.
Yeah.
So they know how to harness it.
And they're not killing anyone to do it.
Right.
It's just like such a foreign concept.
Exactly. They're not polluting anything or destroying anything. It's just there's some energy. I'll use that.
Yeah. It's just free. It's
free.
Yeah.
I just realized I have a split in my pants. That's crazy. Water purification systems that use vibrational resources to restore water's natural structure and remove contaminants without chemicals. Air cleaning technology neutralizes pollutants by converting them back into basic elements rather than just filtering them out. Technology capable of manipulating weather patterns, deflecting harmful solar radiation, and even preventing or mitigating natural disasters like earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. The limited use of this capability is explained by non-interference principles and concerns about disrupting Earth's national systems. Right, there has to be an explanation.
Content, yeah, or first contact. Like that's why.
Yeah. Critics point out that many of these technological descriptions closely track with science fiction. Now, I would argue that when Star Trek came out, all of that stuff was very science fiction. How much shit do we have today that came from Star Trek?
I have one right now.
I'm holding one in my hand.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not kidding you. My iPad is called Picard's Reader because he used to have a book that was really it was like a tablet. And some nerd was like, hey, I mean, I'm saying nerd in the kindest possible way because I am one too. Because we are one. Yeah. So, but like, he was like, I think I can create that. And he made it. Like, there's so much technology that was spawned
We
by
talk
it.
to computer every day.
Oh my God, yeah. That's
literally
true. We do. We just call computer Siri instead of computer.
Mine is called computer. Yeah.
Duh.
So much. So you can call it science fiction today if you want, but it was science fiction 50 years ago.
Yes. And now we have like phones and computers that don't take up rooms anymore.
Exactly.
They're in our pockets, just like they were on Star Trek.
So the prevalence of crystals, light-based technology, and conscious interactive systems always seem to align also with the new age spiritual concepts that have come into play in our world when we're talking about religions and organizations using crystals and the spiritual,
like the gurus, like the spiritual, there's like a spiritual, there's an energy in these crystals that you can harness and can help you be one. I say that, I'm like making fun of it, but I fucking have crystals.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, like I said, everything has
pretty.
energy.
Yeah.
Everything functions on a different resonance. I mean, it's legit.
Yeah, it is legitimate.
To a point. It's legit to a point. And then maybe beyond what we even know, too. That's my other point.
There's so many things that we just don't understand.
Just don't know.
Like, for instance, I mean, we talked about when you were talking about universes and like how these things are theoretically possible, but it's like, you know, how do you prove it when we're in a material scientific world?
Exactly.
Like, it's really very difficult to prove it when, you know, we're so set on this one way of doing things.
That's right.
You can't really discover that.
We say physics tells us one thing, but that doesn't mean that's the only.
Right. Yeah.
Contactees in the 50s and 60s were told that certain advances technologies would be revealed to humanity on specific dates. These predictions failed.
I was going to say, when were they? Have they not happened yet?
Impressed on these failures, contactees explained that humanity wasn't spiritually ready. Or that timeline shift due to humanity's free will choices. No.
You just like need to center yourself more.
You need to be ready.
Yeah. Yeah, like just try praying a little bit more and grab a couple of crystals.
And as I mentioned before, here's why I struggle and flip-flop with all of this stuff. Because, like I said before, they do the same thing with the Bible. They make narratives fit to support what they want it to fit at the moment, right?
Right.
And so that's why I was with you before. Like I know in my heart that we're not alone, but some of this stuff is just shenanigans. Just outright shenanigans.
When you have Tom, Dick, and Harry and any crazy cat lady coming out and saying, "Yeah, I met a Nordic," you're like, "Bitch, you did not meet a Nordic." Like, it is whether it's disinformation, or, you know, didn't really understand. Like maybe that tall person that you saw that was like really at peace actually was just like a normal human. You just like, they were just really pretty and like, you just don't get it.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
They don't have to be an alien, but you're right. It's like, you know, when you're changing the narrative, you're saying they're going to come down and like help us. Like maybe we need to help ourselves. And then, you know, maybe also no one's going to come down and like be our savior, you know, a la religion. Maybe we need to be the ones to become more aware before anyone wants to interact with us. Are you kidding me?
And maybe they're trying to help us do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Which takes us to why are they here?
Yes.
So some reasons that are documented are environmental stewardship, nuclear disarmament, spiritual guidance, protections from the hostiles. Hello, Grace.
We'll hold you down while they probe you, but
Exactly.
But we're protecting you.
But anal probing is an exception. Historical intervention in human affairs represents one of the more elaborate aspects of Nordic alien methodology. According to ancient astronaut theories connected to these beings, they have influenced human development throughout history, from providing technological assistance to early civilizations to inspiring religious and philosophical movements. So that's what we just said.
Yeah.
They got here to guide, not to change.
But to guide in the right direction.
To guide.
Like, we believe in you. You guys just have tiny ass brains, but like, it's totally fine. And also, if you have seen your, Ancient Aliens, yeah, they totally talk about the Nordics.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about 5 of the primary contactees
Oh my God.
for Nordics real quick.
Yes.
So George Adamski, which I didn't really, surprisingly, I've never heard this name before. He died in 1965. Like I said, he really was the one that established the Nordic revolution, for lack of a better term. He's a Polish American who operated a hamburger stand near California Observatory, Mount Palomar Observatory. He claimed his first significant contact occurred in November 20th of 1952. According to his account, while in the Colorado Desert near Desert Center, California, with several people, he observed a large cigar-shaped craft. After asking them to leave him alone with his camera equipment, he claimed to find a beautiful small aircraft that had landed nearby.
Conveniently, right around your camera equipment.
And told his friends to leave.
Yeah.
Okay. From this craft emerged a being he would later call Orthon, a Nordic-looking extraterrestrial with shoulder-length blonde hair and wearing a one-piece jumpsuit. Adamski described communication through a combination of gestures and telepathy, during which Orthon expressed concern about Earth's nuclear weapons testing and the radiation released into space. Now, why he thought he needed to communicate with Adamski about this particular topic,
it's questionable.
So Adamski writes a book called Flying Saucers Have Landed. It became a bestseller, launched his career as a lecturer on space people. He followed that with another book, claimed additional contacts and actual rides above their cigar-shaped craft. He produced numerous photographs of what he claimed were spacecrafts.
That's what we need proof, right?
We need proof, right? Photographs were... I'm going to show you a picture. Come to find out, they say it was made from light fixtures, ping pong balls, and the tops of vacuum cleaners. Do you see this one right here?
Wait, which one?
Can you see it?
I can see.
Up here.
I can see 3. Yeah.
The top left-hand corner. This is the little ping pong balls down here at the bottom.
It's like a ping pong ball in like a colander.
Exactly.
Or in, you've seen, what is it, the Mary Poppins, when Dick Van Dyke is like dancing with the penguins and he's wearing that like straw hat.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It's totally
a
a
ping
straw
pong ball on the bottom.
Pong ball.
Yeah, here's the top of it right here. Wait, let me get it bigger.
I mean, it's like the gall and like the nerve the guy has.
The gall and the nerve. The gall and the nerve.
I have to, you know what? Game, respect, game.
This looks like a magnified picture of a razor blade or something.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell is that? Is it like a shaved down macaroni noodle or something, or like a little tube of something?
Isn't it preposterous?
I mean, like
that's the shit that pisses me off.
The picture on the one right below your head.
Yeah.
So that one kind of looks like an observatory, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. At the top of an observatory.
Yeah. It's like he knew how to double expose or something.
Or position the camera so he didn't get the whole thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
And this guy's just like, yep, this is me.
This is what I wrote in.
Or maybe he like placed that like straw hat right in front of like a dome of an observatory and like made it. You know how people will like put their finger in front of the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Exactly. Yes, like I'm pushing it over. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's just preposterous.
I mean, he does look like he is willing to share the photo in that picture.
Look at my photo.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Fucking ping pong ball.
Billy Mayer, born in 1937, represents perhaps the most extensively documented contact case. He is a Swiss farmer, claims his experiences began in 1942 at the age of 5 when he met an elderly Bajaran man named Svath. After Svath's death in 1953, Mayer communicated with a woman named Asket. All contact ceased in 1964, but resumed in January 28th of 1975 with Samjisi, allegedly Svath's granddaughter. Now, Mayer has produced hundreds of photographs purporting to show the Bajarian's beam ship, remember we talked about before, along with metal samples, sound recordings, and detailed contact notes. And he founded the free community of interests for the border and spiritual sciences of ufological studies.
If there's one thing that they're not as brief, Figu.
His ex-wife revealed that he crafted spaceship models from household items like trash can lids and carpet tacks. Perhaps most damaging photographs he claims showed extraterrestrial women were identified as members of Gold Diggers, a singing and dancing troupe from the Dean Martin show.
He thought he would just never get caught. Swindlers.
And they would call him out, but he just kept going. He's one of those people who just, don't look behind the curtain.
You know what? I love a good story, but come on, dude.
Howard Menger gained, have you heard of him?
This sounds familiar, actually.
Gained prominence in the late 1950s with claims of ongoing contacts with space brothers from Venus and other planets, and he has a book, From Outer Space to You, described beautiful blonde extraterrestrials and receiving spiritual messages about humanity and development. Travis Walton, of course. Right. For those of you who have not listened to our episode, I highly encourage you to do so. On November 5th of 1975, he was working with his logging crew in the Apache National Forest in Arizona when he and his colleagues spotted a bright UFO approaching it alone. His buddies fled because they were scared. He went. He was struck by a beam of light and disappeared. A massive search. 5 days later, he comes back under hypnosis. He tells all these tales. He writes a book. Right. There's a movie created. Several types of being included non-humanoid entities and Nordic-looking humanoids who appeared to be more benevolent. Again, that's when we were talking about the Greys, and the Nordics were helping the Greys. And what makes his case compelling is that so many facts in the case. You need to really listen to the episode, but all of them ultimately passed all of their polygraphs.
Oh yeah,
same stories, all passed.
There was definitely missing time where people were just searching for him, right?
Yeah.
The whole thing, they have never been proven to be lying.
Exactly. And then lastly, the Eisenhower meeting.
Yes.
One of the most intriguing rumors in UFO literature revolves around President D. Eisenhower and purportedly meeting with Nordic aliens at the Air Force Edwards in 1954. According to the story, Eisenhower disappears from a Palm Springs vacation.
Yes.
To actually meet with extraterrestrial representatives. And the claim is that the Nordic aliens offered to share technology in exchange with him disarming nuclear weapons, but he decided instead to go with the Greys because they were allowing, as long as he allowed some limited human abductions.
Yes.
They would give him technology, but he didn't have to abandon the nuclear weapons. So he's like, yeah, I like that deal better.
Right. This is infamous.
Infamous.
So we've talked about this before, but it's a president, people are saying, oh my God, this never happened. No, this actually, legitimately, he was on vacation and there was time that he was not accounted for.
Yeah.
And then they said, oh no, he had to go to the dentist. And there's no record of him going into the dentist. All of it's bogus.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's interesting that once again, we have the Nordics and the Greys hand in hand walking in together, and he decides to take the Greys. It would make sense. He was,
as a president, as it would, you won't want to get rid of your nuclear weapons,
right? And you just got out of a war. He was a general, right? He understood what war looked like. God forbid you see an atomic bomb go off again. God forbid,
right,
an atomic bomb goes off in your city or in your country.
Right.
You don't want that,
right?
So I see both sides, and of course we'd want to be protected, but also, couldn't the fucking Nordics have given him a little bit more cheese?
They
give him a little
something.
Give him some kind of something that's appealing.
Right.
Hey, no. Well, everything's gonna be fine. Just get rid of your nuclear bombs. No, that's the coolest shit we have.
Exactly.
Like, this is the one thing that no one's going to fuck with us with.
Right.
You're telling us to give that away.
Yeah.
No way.
They could have done better.
Yeah.
They could have done better.
Cherry pie, fucking, whatever. Goddamn.
So where does all this information, where does this leave us?
Yeah.
For me, if it wasn't for the Eisenhower story and incident and the Travis Walton story and incident, I'm not entirely sure I would believe in them. I mean, those two are the things that tell me that Nordics are real.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't know. I have a hard time with the Nordics. One, I honestly do think that it's a little fucking racist, and like it's very convenient that all this happens after World War II, where like the idea of like the Aryan race being like the best possible thing is out. Like it's just kind of suspect. But like on one hand, like that raises some red flags. The Travis Walton story and, the Eisenhower story makes sense to me. I also don't believe that we're the only humanoid, species out there. In fact, if you listen to people who know more about this topic and like who have experience in like different programs, they say that like we're actually not native to this planet.
Right.
Right. So like that, it would make sense to me.
Which would explain, by the way, if you don't believe in Adam and Eve, how we got here.
Exactly. Yeah, Adam and Eve is like bullshit. Yeah, but we're not all totally inbred. Like,
yeah, I'm not your brother.
Yeah. This is like really that would be very weird. But like it's those two stories. But the thing, on the other hand, like, oh, you're these peace-loving like people who just want peace, and like you're working with the gray aliens, and also you're telling Eisenhower after World War II, hey, like, just get rid of your nuclear weapons and we'll like help you like find world peace. And
if they have any brains, which we know they do, that doesn't even seem like they would think that's a reasonable option for him at that point in time. Right.
Why would you not say, hey, look, this is what we can do. We can help you. I don't know. We can help you become like incredibly popular. We have like a 10-year plan.
Yeah, here's the path that we're going to get nuclear.
Yes, for you to like get rid of it, and we will infiltrate like governments, blah, blah, blah. Like we've already been doing it. Like,
right.
Like, why would you not, if you really truly do love peace, if you truly are like these like philosophical like demigods,
you would do whatever it took.
Yes, you would do anything. Like, so don't sit here and tell me that like you're willing to hold Travis Walton down and then say like with the other hand, peace is like totally cool. Like, no, that's totally bullshit. I don't trust it. And it's not just because I'm sitting here and I have
couldn't it be that they are flawed like humans are? There's humans, they could put humans in a bucket on their planet and go, oh, have you ever heard of humans before? How can they all be peace and lovey? Yes. There's just no way, because we just aren't.
Right.
And maybe that's the same for them.
It could be. I think that they're not as altruistic as we are thinking they are.
Making them be.
Because if they really were, it's like then they would actually be trying to have something happen. Like in Star Trek, not to bring up Star Trek for the millionth time, but like, you have, if like a volcano's going off and it's going to destroy the entire planet, there's technology that, the Enterprise can help with and prevent catastrophe. Why would you not, if you're these peace-loving people, why would you not interact or try to, try to make it a little bit more like intriguing for a president after a world war to take?
Yeah. I agree.
I think that it could be true. And I think that there's probably a shitload of different types of aliens, just like there's a shitload of different types of religions and, looking people, like, cultures within the world. But I don't believe the whole like narrative that they're these, kind creatures.
I concur. There's like you said, there's too many things that can conflict to make it that way. And it's like stereotyping a race anyway.
Yeah. If you guys are like these all-knowing fucking elvish, like beautiful fucking people, you can't bestow upon us like something that's a little bit better than a fucking nuclear bomb. We're like, here's an iPhone. Like if they would have shown up and be like, we'll give all of your people iPhones and like show you guys how to telepathically like link up and you can spy on anyone, but give us a 10-year plan and get rid of it. Like, Come on.
Yep, I agree.
Fucking idiots. I actually really thought I would like them. And like the more and more you're talking about them, I'm like, fuck these people. Fuck these. And by people, I mean, whatever fucking extraterrestrial or whatever humanoid bitches. You're hot and you're like trying to rub it in our faces. Fuck you.
All right. Cool. Well, I will put a link to like I said, the auditions for the aliens. Put that in the show notes.
Yeah.
Make sure and listen to our other alien episodes. Like we said before, like all of our stuff is really starting to all of our stories are really connecting the dots now. We've told enough of these stories where they're all connecting.
That is the high strangeness within this world, that it does all connect.
And please visit us on TikTok or Spotify, rate us, give us a thumbs up, Instagram. Make sure and visit our website. You can watch us.
Please actually do like rate.
Yeah.
Rate it a 1. That's totally fine. But rate it and say a little something what you think, about the podcast.
Yeah. Or if you want to hear us want us to talk about something, we're here for you, man.
We're here for you, man. Peace on earth.
Peace, man. Yeah. All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you later.
Bye.